Yes, sir. So recently, Stephen A. Smith has just been putting his foot in his mouth, making a bunch of comments, and have been getting a bunch of backlash left and right. This video is going to pertain to the USA basketball team losing to the Nigerian basketball team, and pretty much Stephen A. Smith doesn't show the Nigerian team any type of respect, any type of love. For you guys that call yourself African Americans, you guys have very little to no respect for Africans. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it to where Africans come over here and they catch wreck, they catch hell for their name, their appearance, the way they speak, the list goes on. And then black Americans, quote unquote, African Americans, are oblivious to the fact of why they don't get respected by Africans that come over here, mainly because they have a culture, and mainly because black Americans in this society have no culture. They have no way of life. Everybody does what the hell they wants, and that's why the community is in shambles, and that's why it is the way it is today. In this video right here, I'm going to play why Africans do not respect black Americans, aka African Americans. We're going to view these comments that Stephen A. Smith has made and why he's receiving backlash, and is rightfully so, because black Americans do this on a day-to-day basis. They disrespect Africans because they have a different type of name. Now this dude is coming from Nigeria, and he changed his original name to Michael so now he could be more acceptable, and now that he doesn't have to get a headache from some bozo coming from the ghetto and whatnot that want to crack jokes and talk about how he spits bubbles and things like that. Let's check it out.
Reality of the situation is that when you look at certain players that we talk about, we might talk about tier one or whatever, but when you talk about bona fide stars in the National Basketball Association, we can pick at least 15 to 20 of them. Half of them are on this damn roster. There's no excuse to lose to Nigeria. Some dude, Gabe Namdi, who goes by Gabe Vincent for the Miami Heat, Caleb Agata, Namu, or however the hell you pronounce his name. You give up 60 points on threes? Excuse me. You can do better than that. And oh, by the way, let's also look at Greg Popovich, because he's a five-time champion. One of the elite coaches this game has ever seen.
So that was pretty much the clip right there, to where he just basically disrespected those individuals and didn't seem to bother or care to pronounce their names correctly. He just basically dismissed them, dismissed their efforts and whatever they did and how they performed in beating Team USA, just because Team USA and everybody idolizes everybody that plays for the NBA in the society. Y'all expect them to win any and every game that they play just because they play for the NBA and they're so great. Meanwhile, you have all these other people in other nations that are practicing on a day-to-day basis, and you can't give them their credit when their credit is due. And then it just makes the situation worse when you're a quote-unquote African American, but you want to disrespect an African team, a team from Africa. And for you to be on a platform such as ESPN, you just make it okay for all the black boys that are watching your show to just disrespect everybody that comes from Africa. Then you want to call yourself African American on the flip side, when you don't even know what country you're from, your origin of language, your rituals that you have to perform, or things like that. You don't know a damn thing about where you claim that you're from. That's why everybody that says they're African American, you can't really be taken seriously, because you don't know nothing about your original heritage. Everybody is just not from Africa. And this is why Africans come over to the USA and they don't have any love. They don't respect black Americans. For the most part, a good amount of y'all, more than most, are dysfunctional. It is what it is. Blame Caucasians for all of your problems. And then you show a good amount of lack of respect in the TV, music, because that's where everybody is getting their idea of black Americans from entertainment. And then you involve ESPN, which is basically considered entertainment, because sports is entertainment at the end of the day. It's the worldwide leader in sports. The face of their network, the face of First Take, Stephen A. Smith, quote unquote, an African American, disrespects a Nigerian team, a team from Africa, the team that you're basically saying that you're from. I just have to make this video and just say, like, this is why people have no respect for a good amount of black Americans, because they don't show no respect to anybody else but themselves. I don't know. And like I said, I saw it firsthand. Individuals coming from Africa, whether to get a better education or whatnot, they play sports and now they got to deal with bullshit from these goofballs from wherever they're from that want to crack jokes on them just because they're a different individual. They have the same skin tone and shit like that, but obviously they have different features and then they have a different type of name and you can't pronounce it. Instead of asking the individual what's his name, how do you pronounce it? Stephen A could go, how do you pronounce his name? He wants to go on a TV network and make a joke of their name. He wants to make a joke of what this guy calls himself when a lot of individuals do that on a day-to-day basis. You have Chine Agumake on your network who plays in the WNBA who's from Nigeria. You have another individual, Emmanuel Cho, I believe his name. He's on the network with Marcellus Wiley on Fox Sports Network. He goes by Emmanuel because his original name is a Nigerian name, and he did that so he doesn't have to deal with the bullshit from Black Americans because so many Black Americans love to crack jokes because they can't stand themselves and where they come from and whatnot. So they got to make themselves feel better by shitting on another individual. It is what it is, man. I don't want to ramble too long, man. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out.